Welcome back. So you may have noticed that each of these videos is building incrementally on the next. So we started out with stance and lunge, then we learned about thrusting, then we learned about building the shoulders a bit, then we built the pel. So now what I'm going to talk about is how to move around your opponent while in stance. So something that I don't see a lot of people talking about is why are movement drills important? I see a lot of people just teaching them and then saying go do them. I mean, I've been walking my entire life. I can walk forward, I can walk back, right? But the whole point about movement is once you have found a stance where you are protected and you can offend and defend, you want to learn how to move that platform around safely and not give away any tells and not give away any openings or create some humongous tempo that someone can take advantage of. So what I'll be doing here is talking about the what of movement, not the why or the when. That's tactics, but we'll discuss the what of the movement. Every motion you take, every movement you make is an opportunity for your opponent to try and attack. So you want to try and minimize how big your motion is. You want to try and minimize the target that you're offering your opponents. You want to keep yourself safe while you're able to move around. It's pretty obvious, but motion is all about measure, because two reasons here. One, you're either increasing or decreasing measure as you're moving usually. But two, when you're out of measure, it really doesn't matter how you move. When your opponent can't reach you, you can walk around as freely as you want. What matters is once you close into the wide measure and your opponent is able to then hit you, even if it's a long lunge, that's when you need to start taking into account what your stance looks like and then moving that stance around safely. Remember in your stance that you are pressing into the earth with the balls of your feet, both of your feet. So to stay in your stance, movement forward and back is really kind of simple. Since I'm already pressing, if I want to move forward, I just need to pick up my front foot, and my back foot already pushes me forward. And the reverse is true. I'm pressing into the earth, so if I pick up my back foot, my front foot presses me backwards. So what I'm doing here is taking small steps and then following with the trailing leg, whichever leg that may be this time. You don't want to bob. You don't want to move your body as you're going forward and back. You want to try to stay as smooth as possible and slide across the grass or the ground. You don't want to take a large step. The larger the motion, the bigger the tempo you're giving your opponent. So moving along those lines, I wouldn't recommend it. So what you're trying to do is just be sneaky and slide little bits at a time. So when we're moving, expand and then contract, or expand and then catch up. So I'm going to move the front foot and then catch up with the rear leg, or vice versa. Similarly, when I'm going sideways, I want to expand. I want my right foot to expand, my left foot to catch up. Vice versa, going left. The left leg expands, the right leg catches up a bit. We don't want to cross our feet when we're stepping. Ideally, we want to continue to keep the stance as much as we can and just move a little bit around. So the same thing with the angled steps. I want to, I'm moving off at a right angle, sideways step, but it's a little bit forward. Moving it off at a forward left angle, this is the one time it might make it contract a little bit because my left foot's coming forward, my right leg's following it. You also want to make sure that your toe, your front toe, points toward your opponent. So when I'm going around, I'm going to step off at an angle, and then as I catch up, I'm angling back toward my opponent. The pass forward is a little more involved, but still, I've got that pressure at both feet. So what I'm doing here is effectively this foot is simply kind of launching into a crossing step and then finishing back into a lunge. The pass back is a little easier because I'm already on my back leg here. I can just pull that front foot and again end up back in my stance. Variation of that is from plate 8 of Capoferro, where because I'm back weighted, if someone attacks my leg, I can simply deny it. So it's not really passing fully back, but it is, I'm pulling that front leg back past that back leg to deny the cut or the thrust. So I want you to relax as you're moving around, learn to glide smoothly, no big motions, move in inches, not in feet. Don't try and grab a lot of real estate at one time. Remember to expand and then contract as you're moving in all different planes. This is not a lunge. These are the movements themselves that set you up for the lunge. So how to use this in a drill. So now that you have a target that you can play off of, what I want you to do is think about entering into measure and then moving around or closer to or further from that target. Do that a few times, get used to it, and then do it and integrate a lunge into it, as we've talked about. So I might come into range and then just work on closing in a little bit, and then retreat. Or I might think about moving side to side, going into the lunge, and then again retreat. Just work around that target, get yourself comfortable with your footing, try and correct anytime your right foot tries to move offline, and get used to staying planted and smooth and moving forward and sneaking in as much as you can. I hope this is helpful. Thanks. Bye.